Hey, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the RISmedia Agent Webinar Series. I'm Sherry Johnson, your host and moderator today. Our event is being sponsored by Curbio. We have an exciting panel for you, great agents from around the country. We're talking about how going beyond online leads can help you get back to the basics and get you more listings. And so if you're getting on right now, I'd love for you to go into the question area. That's where we're going to be taking your questions. And tell us where you're from. Tell us, say hello to our panelists, say hello to our sponsor. And we are recording this, and we will be providing a playback of it for you as well. So after today's webinar, you will get an email, follow-up email with the playback, and you won't miss a thing. And again, if you're going to ask a question, we just ask that you do that in the questions section of the GoToMeeting. And I'm going to get started by introducing everybody. And again, tell us where you're from so we get a sense of who's here from around the country. And again, go into the questions section of the chat. And I see all kinds of people coming in from Fort Worth and Michigan. Hello from North Carolina, Rebecca James, nice to see you. Sarasota, Florida. All right, so I'm going to introduce this unbelievable panel. It's really a pleasure and an honor for me today to bring these incredible top agents to you that are going to just give you takeaways that you can implement right away, that get you back to the basics and really help you strategize better to get more listings. And so if you don't know RISMedia, RISmedia, the leader in real estate information for over 40 years, RISmedia publishes the daily e-news, which if you are not a subscriber of, I would highly recommend going to their website and subscribing. Great content by the most trusted leaders in the industry, and this entire editorial staff is just amazing. And again, they publish Real Estate Magazine and also produce the ACE social solution for you as well. So they're putting this on for us. I'm Sherry Johnson, a national speaker, coach, consultant, and I've been in the real estate industry over 25 years, a managing broker, led and coached thousands of agents. I was responsible for about 750 agents at one point in my career, managing the largest privately owned real estate company in the country in Cleveland, Ohio. So I'm from Cleveland. And for the last 4 years, I've been providing coaching solutions for teams, agents, and real estate executives and brokers around the country. Next up, I want to introduce our first panelist, Kyle Carnegie. Kyle, welcome. You want to tell everybody where you're from and how long you've been in the business?
Sure. I'm in the Northern Virginia market. I'm in Virginia, and I have been in the business since 2006, full-time since 2016.
Fantastic, and thank you for joining us. I know you've got some great strategies to share. Next up, Megan Owens, who's been on before with us. Megan, hi there. You're calling in from Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I am in Omaha, Nebraska, and I have been an agent for just over 11 years. So I'm really excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. We're going to hear how Megan does an enormous amount of business, predominantly through referrals. So she's going to share some of that with you. Next up from Atlanta, Georgia, Julie Brattain. Hey, Julie, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, you are. You've got a lot of really interesting things to share as well. All three of you do, and it's fantastic, really, because you are all bringing different perspectives of what going back to the basics means. And really, these aren't back to the basics. I think they're what everyone's going to find out here from all three of you today is that these are the best strategies. There's nothing basic about it. They're easy to implement. We just have to put some action behind them. Next, I want to introduce our great sponsor today, Olivia Marinelli and Mariani, rather, and you are with Curbio. Welcome and thank you for sponsoring.
Thanks. Happy to be here, joining from Washington, D.C.
Fantastic. And why don't you tell us a little bit about Curbio, what you guys do?
Yes, so Curbio is the home improvement company for realtors. We offer real estate agents a concierge service. It's completely turnkey, and really all we do is help you get your listings market ready, or we can help your buyers get their new homes move-in ready. So we're working with real estate agents across the country. We're in 28 markets right now. And just to touch a little bit on what makes us different from a typical concierge, I can share a few points. So I love the topic of today's discussion. I think getting back to basics is something that we all should think about. And there's nothing more basic, I think, than having the conversation with your clients about what work needs to be done to get a home show ready, right? It's nothing new. It's part of virtually every transaction, whether it's a beautiful home that just needs like a deep carpet cleaning, or even some decluttering, all the way up to more extensive remodels. But I think we're seeing this rise in concierge services, and I don't know about you, but I feel like it's everywhere now, and it's becoming almost an imperative. There are certain brokerages that are giving concierge as a tool to their agents, but if you don't have that at your brokerage, then no sweat, because Curbio is here to work with you. And it's even better because unlike concierge, we're here to take care of every aspect of the project for you, so that you're not spending time having to call contractors, figure out when the painter's showing up, go to the hardware store. Those are all things that even those with access to concierge have to figure out. And so with Curbio, of course, your clients are never going to have to pay a dime until the home sells, with zero interest or fees. But we are executing and managing the entire project as the licensed and insured general contractor. We have zero minimums or maximums, and we can work on either the sell or buy side, and we're tech powered. So if you haven't heard of us, definitely check us out for your upcoming listings. And you can also leverage us to win more listings. If you stick around to the end of the call, we're going to give some free toolkit items away to you to be able to customize listing presentation slides, postcards, social media templates, so you can go out and pitch this as a value add as a realtor. But if you do have a listing in mind, if this kind of is ringing a bell with a client you're working with, go over to Curbio.com and you can request a free estimate. I'm also happy to chat with anyone who's interested. I'm sure that Sherry or the team can give my info, but that's Curbio.
That's awesome. And really, it is one of the most pivotal. It's in every conversation 90% of the time when we're going to list a house. Whether the house is in great condition or not, there's still some things that need to be done. This is fantastic. And I love that you can just fill out the zip code, fill out your information, and get a same day general estimate of what needs to be done. I mean, this makes it so easy. So many agents use your service and get faster results in selling. So I know it works, and I have lots of great success stories that I've heard and I've seen and I've witnessed myself. So thanks, Olivia, for that introduction to your company. And okay, so the first question I would like to pose is that when we hear the term going back to basics, right? So this is about beyond online leads, which I've actually seen people tell me, you know, I bought online leads, I'm not getting anything. Or the leads turn differently, right? And it's not a long-term recession-proof, pandemic-proof, any type of market we're in proof solution. Back to the basics means we are out doing things that seem to be what I guess would be termed the basics, but I want to ask each of you to define, what does it mean when you hear back to the basics? For some of you, I think that's like, you've always done this, so this isn't going back to anything, it's just the way you've always done it. So I'll start with you, Julie. What does it mean for that terminology to you?
So when I hear that term, I think open houses, again, direct mail, sending newsletters out, basically anything to grab attention, to the home, to the listing, and to future clients. I kill it on my open houses. So I keep thinking I can do a better job at these open houses. I've got one of those little purple flying guys, to get people to the house.
Right.
And of course it's advertised everywhere. So back to the basics to me really means open houses and postcards, direct mail.
I love it. And you've been licensed
23 years in
23 years.
Atlanta. Yeah, I'm a native of Atlanta and I've been selling here for over 23 years.
And I think you've said even recently that, you did these things years ago, you got back to doing them. It's kind of an ebb and flow of knowing what works and just keeping it in front and center, keep doing the same things that are getting great results. Megan, tell us what this means to you.
Back to the basics to me, it means handwritten notes. It means picking up the phone and calling people. I think that we are more in a relationship building type of business than anything else, because if we build that foundation for relationships, I feel like then, our business will grow as a result of that. So I'm really big into going to coffee or going to a lunch or a brunch or something with clients, and picking up the phone and sending tons and tons of handwritten thank you notes.
Yeah, I know you're going to talk a lot more about that too. Thank you. Kyle, when you hear back to basics, what do you think?
Just to go off of what Megan said, it's really about just getting back to that face-to-face model. Getting back into building relationships, just being in front of people, the send out cards, the thank you cards. It's just that personal touch.
Excellent. And I think you're going to find out, everyone listening, that you're going to hear different things that each of these agents are doing that really produce unbelievable, really profitable results. So what are your top sources of business, and what percentage would you say? Megan, I'll start with you.
I would say about 95% of my business is through from referrals or my sphere of influence. 5% would be maybe social media or open houses or something like that. But really the core of my business is referrals and my sphere.
And would you mind sharing with everyone about how many units you sell a year individually without a team?
Yeah, I do about 138 units. And that's what I did last year.
Yeah. And I know it's, roughly 30 million. You've got a support staff helping you, of course, but 95% referral rate, and the numbers and the amount of business is just fantastic to have 98% on any level. But really with the amount of units you're doing is just amazing. So I know we're going to break into some of those strategies you're doing, get a little more information for everybody. Kyle, where's the number one source of your business?
Well, with COVID, I had to shift a little bit, so it really went kind of online. But now post-COVID, I'm starting to see that I'm getting a lot of referrals just from the clients that I've helped before. So that's really nice because it's getting back to where I want to be.
I love it. And Julie?
So definitely sphere of influence. I would say probably 75% of my business is sphere of influence. I've got over 3,000 contacts. And then second would be my direct mail. Definitely direct mail. Probably 20% direct mail. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. So we just heard Megan say relationship business. Kyle, you chimed in. It's a relationship business. It is a face-to-face sport, real estate sales. We have to be face-to-face and building relationships, lifelong relationships, really, with people. Many of you shared with me that you do some client events. You have appreciation events, whether they're, before COVID, now after COVID. Some of you were creative and did some events during COVID that were, COVID protocol, and it's very successful. And so I would like you to just expand on that, whether it is, an event or a client gift. Tell us about how you foster those relationships with your clients. I'll start with you, Carl.
So what I do is I'm not big on events, but what I do is I reach out to people just personally. I pick up the phone. I have everyone in my CRM so that I'm calling monthly, depending on where they are. Some people I know where they work, so I'll just drop by, bring them a little gift. But it seems to work, and people really seem to like personal touch.
Yeah. Now, how many calls are you making a day? Just out of curiosity. Do you have like a set list that you call? Do you have a set number?
I do. So I try to reach out to my sphere, at least twice a month. I'm probably making 50 to 60 calls a day right now. Just calling, whether it's new people, the sphere, people who I've dealt with, calling people for referrals. So, you have to keep the consistency.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. Megan.
Yeah, so I do client appreciation parties. And so I've done quite a different number of things. I've done a drive-in movie. I've done like a bowling event where there's bowling and drinks and food, which that's I think my favorite one. And then I'll do like smaller ones like we have a place here called the Makery where you can make like door signs or door hangers. So I try and do a few smaller ones as well in conjunction with a really big one.
Wonderful. And so I know you do some kind of a raffle combined with, is that at the bowling?
Yep. Yeah, so I'll do like a big giveaway. So I'll have like 8 to 10 or 12 big raffle things, just to kind of take it a step further to like show my appreciation. And I would say that event is typically my most successful one, where I would get anywhere from 7 to 10 deals off of that one event.
That's outstanding. And I know you write a lot of personal cards. So the production level you're doing, or anybody listening to this doing any production level, might be like, how do you write 5 to 10 note cards a day? Can you share with us how you have a disciplined, the discipline to do it, and B, some of the resources you're using? Because I know some of you have mentioned using send out cards. We love send out cards. How have you incorporated send out cards into your note writing, and what do you write on these notes when you write to people?
Yeah, usually it's just like a quick, quick thank you note. I don't spend a ton of time on them, and I feel like I do usually 25 a week. And that could be anything from congrats, you're under contract, to I saw you got engaged, or just a simple thank you for meeting with me. So anything, I'm like huge on thank you notes. Or I did start using send out cards this year, which I'm totally obsessed with. I think it's amazing, and it has saved me so much time because I can do it from my phone. So after I leave the listing presentation, I can do it that way. Or if I see on Facebook or social media that they just got engaged or had a baby or something, I can take a quick picture of the baby and put it on the card and send it right away with a little gift. So I am obsessed with send out cards. It saved me so much time.
No, I love it. It does save you time. You can send a gift, send a gift card, like an actual card. Everything is done. It is amazing. And I know that, whether you're sending a card after a listing appointment or before a listing appointment. So all great answers, all fantastic answers. Julie, talk to us about your relationship marketing, referral programs, what you do for clients, because it's pretty cool.
So I actually throw housewarming parties for my buyers after they purchase the home. A month later, we'll go in. I'll tell them they can invite up to 30 people, and basically it's like a brews and barbecue. My lender will provide the liquor and the beer, and I provide the barbecue. So it's really fun because they get to invite their friends and their family to see their new home, and it's really fun because I get to meet a lot more people. So
you meet a lot of people. Yeah, you're in front of their entire sphere.
That's right. Yeah,
you're the host, but it's really the buyer who's hosting it. You're just the lucky, you just get to say, hey, we're throwing this for them.
exactly. Yeah.
I love it. It's fantastic. What
Yeah.
tell I know one of the things that you do for your clients, when you give a gift or you have a house, a new house and you're doing housewarming parties, but just the personalized delivery of gifts. I know each client, you deliver hand baskets. So tell us a little bit about that.
So I actually will have pillows made for them that have the coordinates to their home that they bought, along with the date of they purchased it. Sometimes I'll just put the name of the city on there. But it's a really cute pillow that I always see out whenever I go visit them again. So it's nice to see that they're using it. It's on linen, so it's really pretty. So I'll deliver that. And then I'll also swing by Target, and I usually get a big old basket and fill it with tons of stuff like a Bluetooth outdoor speaker, a blanket, snacks for the kids, for moving day, and just a bunch of fun stuff for the family while they're moving.
You don't think about those things, but
Right.
everybody needs a Bluetooth speaker. I mean, that's just like the best gift in the world. And the pillows are a special touch. Obviously, they keep them out. They think about you. It's really fantastic. I'm assuming that for anyone who refers you business, what do you do for the people who are referring you business as a thank you?
Oh, anybody that refers me business, they obviously get a gift card. They get a nice thank you, gift card and a handwritten letter, of course.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I want to talk about special events, expired listings. These are, you think about when we say back to the basics, or the things the things agents just don't think about doing. And for example, the expired listing is like a free listing lead that's probably, in my opinion, one of the most qualified leads. We know they want to sell. They had a house for sale. They had a yard sign. They mentally were ready to go. Seems to be an area of, underrated that I think Kyle's going to share with us some success there, as well as open houses. You touched on that earlier, Julie. Kyle, if you could share with us like your recent experience with expireds. I think this is just a huge success story that proves expireds do work.
Absolutely. And I think that it also proves this whole thing about back to the basics. And like you were saying, with the expired, you have a great candidate there because it's someone who already had their house on the market, who wanted to sell, and it didn't sell for some reason. Now, with what we've just come out with the pandemic, people took their homes off the market, but they still at one point wanted to sell. A client who was looking for a farm, we couldn't find anything. It was very specific. And we actually looked in the expireds and found a farm. And I went and I knocked on their door. And with a little bit of help from my coach, Jill, she told me, she was like, just go and knock on the door. So I said, okay, and went and knocked on the door, and they were under contract, and we close at the beginning of next month. And I also was able to get his house, which is going to go on the market after we bought the farm. So it's actually a 2-for-1, if you will. So.
And what price range are we
because you're really not trying to sell them to sell their home. They already want to do it.
Kyle, what was the price range of the firm?
1.5.
So $1.5 million expired. Your buyer must be ecstatic with you because you went and found a property when nothing is for sale, seemingly, right? We think nothing's
Absolutely.
for sale. We have to be resourceful. So your client's ecstatic. I think you shared with me that you originally didn't want to do this, right?
That is correct. That is correct. But with the nudging of my coach,
that's right. I know Jill is watching.
Yeah, I mean, in this market, I think that you tend to lose touch with what the basics are, and you figure everything's moving so quickly. Why would I go and knock on someone's door, when it was already expired? But it's almost a no-brainer.
It really is, and I want to say this is I feel like, so that listing was expired from 8 months ago, right? 6 to 8 months plus. And I feel like the standard line of every agent is there are no expires here. there are no expireds here. And then Julie's shaking her head because what happens? What did you find with expireds?
Yeah, they're out there. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, you can find expireds from 2 to 5 years ago. They're definitely out there.
And, I think what we're learning is that through this exercise here, okay, that sometimes the things we have not done, a lot of you listening have been licensed for a long time. Like everyone on this panel has been licensed a long time, more than 5 to 8 plus 20 years. So sometimes we think, oh, open houses don't work because we had one that didn't work, or we did expireds once and it flopped because we didn't have a really good strategy. You know what I mean? And so here we have an example with Kyle. You went and you did something out of your comfort zone. I know your coaches, Jill is one of our top coaches, and she talks about you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And so you made that call and you changed people's lives. I mean, I have to get real, like, at the end of the day, this is like life-changing for everybody. And expireds are gold. I believe if you have a great strategy and you know what to say, you can get an appointment with them the first time you call. So talk to us, all of you, about open houses and why I believe, okay, I'm just going to start this out by saying the best, still the very best lead generator of all time. One of our courses that I have had for years is how to make 50 grand at your next open house. So why do we love open houses so much, and why should the audience start doing them again? I'm going to ask you, Julie, to start us.
So I actually attended your event at a Berkshire Hathaway event that was the how to make $50,000 at your next open house. And I came home and I crushed it. Absolutely love open houses. I do mine a little differently. I have bubbles and brunch. So I will serve Prosecco and a few little handheld little snacks, crackers, and some small donuts. I also make cupcakes, little bite-sized cupcakes. So that's what I like to do at my open houses. I love to stand at the front door and greet people and have them come on in. I usually have an assistant with me just to help them, also get around the house and if they have any questions. But people come in, they sign in, which is great. I get their information, and 9 times out of 10, I'll get a listing appointment out of an open house. So we used to always say open houses are for new agents. That's how new agents get business. Not me anymore. I want to do an open house. I'm dying to do open houses every single weekend because I know that means I'm going to pick up at least one additional client, either a buyer or a seller or both.
That's right. And I'm so glad you said that we get caught up in that's for new people. I've seen new people, we coach new people that do $4 to $6 million their first year. They're doing open houses because It still works.
Yeah,
and it works. Yeah, it does work.
Yeah.
Where else can we have people just show up and meet us, right? It's just unbelievable.
Right.
Megan, comments on, I know you do some really cool, like a different open house. If you want to tell us about that, because this is really cool.
Yeah. I like open houses, like Julie. One of the cool things we do in our market that our brokerage does is called a nosy neighbor open house. So basically what that is a open house for just the neighbors. So usually it's on like a Wednesday or a Thursday night, and then you invite kind of the 15 to 25 neighbors surrounding the house, have a drawing for like a bottle of wine or something like that, have a few light snacks while they're there sipping wine and walking around the house. And then the key to those is not only getting them to come, but also the invite before and the thank you afterwards. Really kind of set you apart from, other agents doing opens.
Yeah, and I think isn't there like a big nose on your sign and it says nosy neighbor, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit more funny, but I think that a lot of people get a kick out of it because the neighbors do want to come to the open houses, and instead of them coming to the open and you know, a regular open and you try to get their information, and then at the end of the open, they're like, oh, we're just the neighbor, sorry. You know, this just puts it out there, and they walk in and they say, hi, we're the nosy neighbors. And they're really excited to be there. And it's just kind of something fun and different and memorable.
Absolutely. And I think I've always said nosy neighbors are future clients. These are people who are going to sell in the next 3 to 12 months, potentially. They're also great referral sources. And, you know, at some point, you're going to be the first person they've talked to because they met you, they like you, they're getting your postcards, they're getting information from you. And it just works. You know, having an open house, even a regular Sunday open house with an hour before, you know, inviting the neighborhood, right? Or doing something like Megan's doing with an evening venue where people, that's like a special event just for, you know, a sneak preview, if you will. I guarantee you can ask those people, who do you know that I can show this house to, right, during that, and pick up some referrals. So that's awesome. I love it. I think that's just a really great play on this whole thing of nosy neighbors. And so we love nosy neighbors. We want them to come to the open house. We want to meet them. And as David Knox always says, we should be having conversations with people. The more conversations we're having, the more opportunities that are going to happen for us. Kyle, you're doing open houses. And I know you have a strategy for how you market the new listing so that you can hold an open, because a lot of agents today say, I can't hold an open house, Sherry. It sells too quick. So how do you do that? And can you explain how you're able to get 35 people to your open houses?
Sure. What I like to do is I like to put my listings on the market in the coming soon status. And then what I do is don't open it up until Thursday or Friday and have an open house Saturday or Sunday. Found that people love what they can't have. So when we have that open house, a lot of people come. It's great. I mean, you're getting 30, 35 people. My last open house, I got 35 people coming through the doors who are all either looking for a home, like Julie was saying, some have to sell a home to get into their new home. And it's also a way to meet the neighbors and just find out what else is going on in that neighborhood. So for me, it works great. And usually by Sunday, we're in great shape.
But here's what you just said. People want what they can't have, you know, and there's a reason that products are launched the way they are. iPhones, for example, other products in retail. When you create that sort of coming soon and enthusiasm and excitement about a listing, and people can see it and they can't see it until Sunday or Saturday at the open house, you create demand. You actually create urgency, and you're going to have 35 people showing up. I mean, it's fantastic strategy. Additionally, the open house can be and should be really the most profitable and productive 2 hours of your week if you plan it properly, right? You plan it,
Cool.
Pick the right house. This is not, you know, for those listening, you want a house that's a move up, right? Because you're able to get the list side of the people who are coming in. You sit in a house that's just for first time buyers, you're only going to get first time buyers. So we want to get those people who have a double-sided sale. So that's fantastic, Kyle. And I appreciate you saying that, you know, it again, giving special attention to that house. People can't, they can't see the house. They want to see it. And canvassing and marketing it to the neighbors before the open house and creating showings. I think that's really fantastic. So I'm going to go into some other things that happen. So Julie Brattain, you've been talking a lot about direct mail and that was one of your big lead sources. Would you expound on that and talk to us about how you're using direct mail for huge results? And I mean huge, like big numbers.
Yeah. So I just started doing direct mail again last year. I had stopped years ago, but I just started doing it again and sending coming soon postcard out, just listed, under contract, and then just sold. All of my postcards look the same. I think consistency is key. people see my face, they see the exact template that I keep, using over and over again with the same marketing colors. And it's mainly in this one neighborhood that I'm sending these direct mail postcards out, and I've gotten 5 listings, and have sold 4 of them so far, just within the past probably 8-9 months. So that's a buy and a sell, from each person in this particular neighborhood. I have 9 buyers right now that are looking for homes, and it's really hard to find these buyers a home because there's nothing on the market, it seems. So I did create another postcard that basically says, I have buyers that are looking for a home in your subdivision. And I take a picture of one of the homes in the neighborhood, and I put that on the front of the postcard. And on the back side of the postcard, I put that this is a sincere attempt to find my buyers a home, and to please call me first before they list with another agent. And I've gotten 12 calls just in the past year from those postcards, which is great.
It is. And, it's, I just did the math. So you get five times 5 leads. They all buy and sell. That's 10 transactions.
Yeah.
Let's assume you make 10 grand a transaction in some markets around the country, right? You do. Some are. Whether it's 5 grand or 10 grand, that's $100,000 the last time I did the math. 10 times 10. So there is a strategy right here. And, print is, lots of print advertising is obsolete. The just listed, just sold cards and micro farming techniques we do and you're doing are the least expensive, most effective strategies, because as you just said, the consistency of seeing Julie Bertain to the garbage can, right? If I'm throwing it away, those are the people, some of the people are keeping those cards and putting it aside because they're like, this girl sells everything. And I think that is just good branding, right? You are constantly telling that neighborhood. And I think you even bought, you and your fiance bought a house this way.
Yes, we did.
Is that right?
We found a home. There was a neighborhood that we wanted to live in so bad. And I sent out these postcards. My fiance and I are dying to live in your neighborhood. Please contact me. This is a sincere attempt to find a home for us and our 2 girls. And so I really tackled this neighborhood. I hit everybody up via email, text message, and Facebook Messenger, plus the postcards. So all the neighbors knew me before I moved in because they had all seen my face or seen me on Facebook or gotten a message from me. So yeah, it was great. So that's how I found our home. And that's what I'm doing for my buyers right now.
And would you say that you said it took you a while to get back to doing this? And I personally know from my conversations with you that the proof, there was a point where you were like, this works, and it just, I feel like it was a game changer. I'm going to brag a little bit for you, but you went, I think you doubled in 19, you doubled in 20.
Yeah.
And you're on track probably to do what, 20 million this year. I mean, this is insane.
So doubling again this year. So basically, since I've been working with you, my business has doubled and doubled and doubled again.
Well, but you're doing things that I know, as we mentioned when Kyle didn't want to call the expireds, it's like getting out of sometimes we have all the basics we know that work. Yeah. And then other times we think, that doesn't work, or so much should be done online. And a lot of online relationships can be, rekindled. You go on Facebook and you find a friend and you direct message them, and you can connect with people at least to the extent of finding them. What you do with that after in a personal relationship, but I think you're doing things like these are not hard. It just takes a little bit of time. I think the return on investment of your expenditure from what you're paying on those postcards compared to what you're making is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
Because you're spending like less than $5,000 on cards.
Oh, yeah, way less. Yeah,
and you're making,
I mean, to each,
six figure.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, to each neighborhood, I would say maybe 400 for each mailing. So yeah, probably like around less than $2,000 for every single coming soon, just listed, under contract, and just sold. Yeah.
it's a very, very purposeful, on-purpose strategy. And I know those of you that have an MLS that use Remind, I think you're using Remind very effectively as well.
Yeah.
Get names. Everybody, how do I get phone numbers? How do I get names and emails? Remind, if you have that and you're lucky enough to have that in your MLS, you can use that. Well, that was fantastic. Thank you. And anything else that either of you, Megan or Kyle, want to contribute on best marketing practices to generate more listings? Go ahead, Megan.
Okay. I think the only other thing is social media, I guess. I know a lot of people use it, but I think using it to touch base with your clients and get continue the relationship building based on social media and seeing what they're up to on a daily basis to stay connected.
Excellent. And anything else you want to add, Kyle, on that? On anything we missed? I know we had our call ahead of time. We were talking about. I know you do personalized gifts for clients. For any personalized gifts, what are your personalized gifts, Kyle, that you give to people? Are you on mute? I'm not hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
All right, very good. Just very briefly, what I was going for is one of the things that you have to remember is that it has to become habit forming. So, even when you're doing things like I'll do an open house, I'll get 30 people, I'll do another one, I'll get 2. You can't let that discourage you. You just got to get right back on the horse and, keep on going at it. Don't give up because it will work. In terms of, personalized gifts, I think that just being able to build relationships and finding out what people are about, what their interests are, that allows me to put the gifts together or the note cards, things of that sort. So that is what works for me.
Excellent. And I know all 3 of you are using send out cards for personal relationship marketing. I just want to say, if somebody wants to try one of those out, go to sherryjohnson.com. You can send a card just on us under resources. That system is not only time saving, it's so affordable. Like I want to just say that those cards are nicer than the cards I would go to the CVS or the direct, wherever I would go to buy cards. Some cards are, I think, $7 now. So I can get a customized card that I write. I can put my own handwriting in it. I think Megan mentioned getting taking pictures from Facebook, taking a picture with your client and putting it on a card, taking pictures of a Facebook of them to congratulate them. I know, as Jill Katzenberg, my coach, always says, nobody throws away a card when their kids are on it, and they're keeping that card. I have a bunch of them that she sent me, but they keep the card and they think of you every time they look at that card. And what's even more important is keeping that relationship. That is, we are in the easiest face-to-face. It's easy, hard work, right? If we just continue to keep the relationships we already have. If it's true that 6 people, right? Everyone we know knows 6 people that are moving right now. I'd be happy if it was 3 people. We should be leveraging that because it's free. The greatest thing about some of all these tools we're hearing about, open houses, calling experts, these are free or very nominal fee-based things we're doing. And that send out card is very powerful. And I think that people get wowed by it. And it's that extra sort of surprise value they don't see coming. I want to ask, and Olivia, anytime, feel free to jump in by all means, because we want to hear from you as well. While people are listening today, what's some advice from the 4 of you, that you would tell agents to stop doing and then instead start doing? So what's something that best practice that you would tell them to jump into with both feet and do, go full steam ahead? And then what's one thing they should stop doing? Kyle, I'll start with you.
If I was going to tell them to stop doing something, it would be stop chasing the shiny penny. Whatever you're going to do, get in, do it with 2 feet, make it a habit, and keep on doing it. And then give it time, and then evaluate whether or not it has worked for you or not. There are so many new products. I mean, we're all getting calls of my lead gen's the best, this works better. And I find that early on, you see a lot of agents just skipping from one to another. To just get in and form a habit with whatever you're going to do.
Such great advice. And you're right, this shiny penny magic pill doesn't exist. I call those distractors. We're distracted by all these things that it's going to be the next big thing that gets you business. At the end of the day, it's relationships. It's you doing the things other agents just don't want to do. Megan, your advice.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Kyle. I think stop trying to do everything that you see on a webinar or a class, or we get so bogged down because there's so much that we could be doing, but take 1 or 2 things and tweak it to how you want to do it and what best fits your personality and style, and then do that and become really, really good at that. And then you can add in another little tidbit of something. But I think, focus on what is going to work for you and what you're going to be successful at, instead of worrying about what everybody else is doing.
Love it. I love it. And then making it a habit. I'm going to add what Kyle said. It's like, do it and then make it a habit. I think we get in this business and we do something once. Kyle, you mentioned to do an open house, only 2 people come. You think that's the way they always are. So it's just because something doesn't work once doesn't mean that it's not a good results-driven strategy. Julie, your advice for everybody listening.
Okay, so I would say stop buying leads, stop with the Facebook ads. I don't think that they work. I think that you'll get some horrible, horrible leads. People don't want to give their real name. They give out fake phone numbers, fake email addresses. So I would say stop doing that. I am focusing more on micro farming and using Google for my business, so I'm focusing on building my Google My Business page and posting on there my blog, relevant content, because people want to see that. They don't want to see a cheesy ad. They just don't. So
now, are you doing video on that blog?
That's so crazy that you said that. So I actually, yes, I'm just starting to do video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fastest way, just a quick plug for video. Fastest way to scale your message, if you think about it, right? I mean, I love personal connections, talking to people, everything we are talking about right now. But if you want to talk to everybody and send everybody the same letter you would send them, but you set it on a video, right? They know you, they hear you talking, they relate to you. They actually, when they see you, they feel they've just had a conversation with you too. So it's a scaling thing on video. Great advice, all fantastic pieces of advice. Olivia, what's your suggestion?
Yeah, what I'm seeing, and I actually was just at a real estate conference, and this was like the biggest takeaway, is that the modern agent is versatile and giving their seller options. And when you're going into listing presentations, when it comes to winning that listing and really getting access to the limited inventory, it's giving that menu of options to show that you are a value-added realtor. And of course, when it comes to home improvement, like that's our specialty, and we recommend going in with, an estimate for what it would look like to get the necessary improvements done to get the highest possible list price for your client. Because in many cases, that is their goal. So that's like what I would say start doing, kind of going in with options to position yourself as the best realtor to get them that best possible price. And then, I would stop doing things that aren't adding to your goal of winning more business. I mean, Kyle said he's making 50 to 60 calls a day. That's what you want to be doing, right? And you want to be selling real estate and working directly with your clients, not the administrative things that are taking up time. And some people have teams, and that's awesome, but a lot of people are still managing home improvement projects, and that's why they're switching to Curbio, because they're realizing I can just take this off my plate, have the exact same end outcome, you know, a beautifully renovated home for my client, but I don't have to do anything, and they get to defer payment till closing. So I'd say stop managing projects.
Excellent. Those are fantastic ideas and takeaways. I'm going to suggest, and I love this, I mean, I can't pick just one, but you know, the first thing I'm going to say is that we should stop getting ready to get ready. You know, we're in this mode. A guy by the name of Wayne Gould, who I used to work with, always would say, we're getting ready to get ready. And so I stole this from Wayne. Wayne is awesome. But I want to tell you that we have to start before we're ready. We have to do things that are outside the box. We need to try something new. You know, all of you did something different, new, or stuck with something that just works. But we heard from Julie and Kyle both that, you know, they did something out of the box that actually brought in, you know, over 20, 30, 50,000, in some cases, $100,000 of new business, literally closed business. So I would say stop getting ready to get ready. I'd rather you have 4 listing appointments and not know what you're taking. Okay. So when you're getting ready to make your presentation, you have the presentation, but you have no one to give it to. So I want you to have 4 listing appointments and then worry about what you're taking with you. And then the thing you should do, honestly, is be resourceful, especially right now. Change your narrative. Stop saying there's low inventory. Start saying, I can find you a house. In fact, that's what I do. I'll find you a house, even one that's not listed yet. That's what I do. That's going to build such confidence with a seller who's worried about where they're going to move if they sell now. I'd rather work with an agent who says, I'll find you a home. Just tell me where you want to live. Let's minimize this low inventory talk. Stop posting that we have no inventory, right? Because that just keeps sort of self-fulfilling that prophecy that we don't have any listings. Creates more problem. I read an article recently. My friend Anthony Lamacchia said, we're part of the problem, you know, saying constantly we have no inventory. So I would rather you not wait for something to come up in the MLS, but rather go find the listings for your buyers, like you heard a lot of these agents doing, and they're doing it so successfully and actually with ease. You know, this is like kind of easy, hard work, but it does work. So be resourceful and go get the listing. And it's been an awesome afternoon with all of you today. I really want to thank you. Unfortunately, we are at the end of our webinar today. And just, you know, if you're out there, put some of these practices into play. Nothing good happens if there's no action, right? So you can't just say, oh, that was a great webinar. I got some really good ideas. I heard some great things. Write down 4 or 5 things today, right now, that you're going to start doing. You know, I know when I met with these folks, these great agents, they were sharing ideas with each other and saying, I'm going to do that. I'm going to start doing that. So that's what happens. And that's why we put these panels on, is we do these panels to help you create new strategies that will create great results for you. So I want to thank each of you for being here today. And we have our special giveaway, both from Sherry Johnson Coaching and also from Curbio. So Olivia, would you tell everybody how they can take advantage of your marketing toolkit?
Yes, so this link will also be sent out after the webinar, but this can be found on Curbio.com. We're giving this away to you so that you can include Curbio as a value add with your own brand. So all of these materials are customizable. You can put your headshot, your logo, whatever copy that you think is going to work well with your sphere. And, you know, try some of these tactics that Megan, Julie, and Kyle were talking about with the spin of, you know, hey, I can help you sell your home, fix it up, and, you know, defer all payment till closing. It's definitely something that's working for agents, and we want to make sure you all have access to concierge, even if your brokerage doesn't offer it.
And I'll tell you, every single agent in our coaching program who uses Curbio loves it, and they get results, and they don't have to deal with any of it. It's so easy, guys. Try it out on your next listing, or just go check it out right now and take advantage of this. Thank you, Olivia, for offering that. It's huge value, everybody, so make sure you take advantage of it. And then we are giving access to our playbook, Sherry Johnson playbook, via the Sherry Johnson Academy. This is going to give you a monthly subscription. I'm giving all of you who are on today access to the first month of free online access, as well as one live coaching session per month with me. And great results. People are, doubling and tripling their business, regardless of where you currently are. And you get access to the Sherry Johnson Academy. The first month is free. You can go right here to sherrysfreeplaybook.com. Go there right now and sign up. Your first month is free. It's on us. Thanks for being on this webinar. And also, wanted to let everybody know there is a recording of this webinar that will be emailed out to you. So not to worry in case you want to replay it and listen again to get, some better note taking. But all of that will be sent out to you, as well as the links for both of these free giveaways. And again, I just want to plug one more time for RISmedia, the ACE Social. This is a free 14-day trial for an online, actually social media solution for you that is not about necessarily online. This isn't online leads. This is connecting with your sphere. And what I love about ACE, we actually, all of our coaching clients get this product, is that it is doing the, putting out content for you automatically. Agents who I coach and agents I've interviewed have literally listed and sold $500,000 homes plus 5 more deals from that one post. So this is worth going out and taking a look at as well. There is a 14-day free trial. Go to rismedia.com for details, and you can take advantage of that. Again, your sphere will love this content, and this will make you look like the rock star that you already are. Kyle, Megan, Julie, and Olivia, I can't thank you enough on behalf of RISmedia webinar series and Sherry Johnson Coaching, as well as our sponsor today, Curbio. Thank you guys for being here today. Have a great rest of your week, and I promise to come back again if you would.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see everybody soon.
Bye. Thank you.